Tonight, Georgia accepts its punishment by a fire-spamming cruiser behind a mountain. I sits flat broadside hoping to be removed from the match before his feet touch the ground, or should I say his propellers touch the ground. And I sent a Massachusetts back to port as he went flat broadside and he paid the price. Hey guys, before I start the video, I just want to say that this clip was recorded when I was feeling a bit sick. So, I do apologize if you can't hear much what I'm saying or can't understand me. I tried my best. I hope you guys enjoy. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. It's Ed here. Today we're going to be looking at my arch nemesis, the Tirpitz, and why I do not like German accuracy. I do like the Tirpitz, don't get me wrong, but I do not like its accuracy. So, we're running Celiacs with Cunningham and Von Hipper. So, secondary build. But I like to try and get up as close to the Bismarck, and I have had no success. So, we're running a good day's work. We're running Porcupine, Firefighter, Master Mechanic, and Will to Rebuild. So keep that in mind. And also, we're running Aiming Systems Mod 1, Propulsion Mod 2, Target Acquisition Mod, and Main Battery Mod 3. Without further ado, let's take her out for our 2 games. I ain't gonna lie, like I said, the German battleships are very, very inaccurate. So I struggle playing the Tirpitz, especially if I'm face to face with an enemy battleship or destroyer. A cruiser, sometimes they get death struck if my dispersion is lucky enough to hit them. But other than that, I just struggle with playing the Tirpitz so much. Even at tier 6, even when I'm in tier 6 lobby, I struggle. And this is what this video is going to showcase. As you can see, we're top tier, and we already have 3 Massachusetts, so it's only going to be a big hazard. And not to mention as well, we're spawn center. Now, I do know to defend my side, but this time, and this time only, I'm actually going to go for the flank. Just because I cannot participate us getting the destroyer down here. Most games I had in the Tirpitz, I get absolutely pulverized by basically the whole enemy team. It's like, oh, it's Sid trying to film a video, quickly get rid of him so he would not get an absolute trash video out on YouTube. That's basically all it's been since I've been basically playing the Tirpitz, and since it started on YouTube. That's always been the case. So we are going to be pushing over towards the sea cap, like so. Right. But in terms of things, we might not have a destroyer here. If there was a destroyer here, we would B would already be studying a captain. Now I'm pushed up with our Georgia, like so, and we already have King George already spotted off to our left, and we have one of the 3 Massachusetts detected in front of us. And this is why I just slam on the brakes and hope for the best.
All stations requesting fire on the designated target.
And my dispersion's a lot better than what it has been over the last few days. And I'm going to touch the canvas. And I appreciate it for that lucky stop. And you can clearly see that our Georgia is going to get burnt. Real quick. Like, that was good dispersion, don't get me wrong. That was the first time I got good dispersion in models. Now watch this. Now it goes back to being wonky again. And see, 10k to a superstructure. See, where has dispersion been on this battleship since I've had it? where has it been? And this is where I look at a juicy broadside sit-up. I was like, man. And I was like, give me good RNG, and this dispersion looks absolutely great. As I smack him for a decent amount of damage, but no Citadel. I'm only backing up because I know that there's a fire spamming destroyer around here. And he's just, and by the looks of things, this setup is just going to sail on broadside. As I probably, hopefully, will be able to reach out and touch this man full of his health. But these look pretty good, and I have to leave him with just enough so someone can finish him off. But that's what happens to a setup that decides to basically take a run for their team. That he just gets absolutely pulverized. And he must be on damage con cooldown once he's still burning. And the other Massachusetts decides to pop out. And now we currently have, I'm starting to get suspicions, 2 destroyers inside of the Bravo cap. And can I do something about it? I can. But that's the thing. I don't want to get focused by the destroyers and get torched to death. So I'm basically focusing my fire on the Massachusetts. Well, one of the 3 Massachusetts. And as you can see, 3 bounces. But my accuracy is getting a lot better. I don't know if they have buffed the German dispersion or what. But I've absolutely struggled in German battleships since I've had the Tripids. And as you can see, the Massachusetts fight broadside. And this most likely looks like death. As, where has the dispersion been on this battleship? So first game is not bad. 40k damage, and we already sunk one of the 3 Massachusetts. And it was the Massachusetts that was not in the division of the other 2. And I see the Massachusetts, as I was about to take a shot over the mountain, I could have lobbed the mountain and potentially put a severe hurting on him. But I see the KGV over the mountain here. I start slamming on the brakes, and I see the Z25. And I was like, what the hell? And we just lost basically all of our destroyers, but we've took down 2 of the battleships. And this is why I see the Baltimore. He keeps appearing and disappearing, so I'm like, yeah. So this is what annoys me, is that I'm trying to get my guns off and they just disappear. There you go, get wonky dispersion again. But as you can see, I get a shatter. Very, very unfortunate. And come on, Attico could easily win this fight against that destroyer. As I was about to take another shot at the KGB. So this is where I start moving up, and this is where I noticed that the Atlanta that was bombarding our Georgia decides to get detected. And we have and if you look at the smokestack on that Massachusetts, he looks like he's flat broadside, and these look a little bit good, but I don't think we'll get much out of it. As I get 1 overpen on them. 1 overpen's better than nothing. If it was a bounce or a shatter, then it would be a hazard. But as you can see, Massachusetts is flat broadside. Doesn't even know I'm here until I put up the spotter plane and take a shot at him. But these look pretty good. As I say that, as we get 2 shatters in 2 overpens. Like literally, if that was the Citadel, that would be most likely back to port travel for this man. Well, I come backing all the way up. Well, that's the thing, I'm backing all the way up. And I see the Z25, and I was salivating. I was like, get the destroyer threat off the board. And he's going to try and twerp the Kansas, as you can definitely tell. as I managed to save our
Enemy
team,
destroyer blown up.
I managed to get Kansas his revenge. I sunk the enemy destroyer. But I have to worry about the Baltimore as well as the KGB as well that is currently inside the Bravo cap. As if I back up any further, I might get detected by them and it will not end well for me. So I managed to get the destroyer thrown off the board and down goes the Atlanta, thank God. So that means I can move up. Since the Atlanta's gone, there's nothing that can burn my superstructure. And this is why I see the second Massachusetts. But I have to look out for this Benson that's all the way over here. But also I am aware of the Baltimore's presence as well. And also the KGB as well. As you can see, as you can clearly see, let's see, Massachusetts is clearly having our air-to-go, but that's clearly the destroyer's problem, but we clearly have to capture, basically, A and Bravo if we're going to win this match. Because we're already down by one ship. And this is why I get detected by a plane. I was like, dude. And then I see the KGB doesn't even have his guns around. My front guns left the island and smacked him for 17k. Well, 7,000, I was meant to say. And I did see the enemy Benson, and I was salivating. I was like, oh my god, if I could get this destroyer off the board. But I definitely know that the Benson is definitely here. But I am chasing the King George at the moment because the Benson's gone undetected. And I smacked him for 14k right there. So far, I have been getting very unlucky with not absolutely removing this guy from the match, and he's clearly fighting on Nelson. Nelson could just battle tank him because what does the KGB have? 14-inch guns. And as you can see, get wonky dispersion and get 1 penetration and 2 bounces. And as you can see, Nelson absolutely touches the man, and hopefully someone can remove him. And these look decent, and down goes the KGB.
We've destroyed an enemy battleship.
See, this match is far from over. See, I've already taken out 3 of their ships, and hasn't received the scratch return, as our Nelson absolutely removes that Benson from the match and put him back in port. Now, what is the main issue that we have here? Yes, we have a Massachusetts. We also have a Baltimore. And the other Massachusetts clearly isn't present. As you can see, I was participating and popping out here, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna wait for him to come and fight broadside and hopefully Citadel this man. As you can see, Massachusetts is very maneuverable, and the torp range on these are not great. Basically, the only time you use torpedoes in the sea is if it's basically close quarters, or you're brawling. That is the only time you can basically use these torpedoes. As you can see, Massachusetts clearly battle tanking. So what does that mean? Take a shot into his superstructure. As you see, Massachusetts burning. But as you can see, because I have main battery reload, it takes my reload down all the way down for about 20 seconds. As you see, wonky dispersion. And somehow getting 2 overpeds into his superstructure. As the man went down to the Arctico's fire. So, like I said, this fight is far from over. Now, all that's left is the other Massachusetts, which has clearly ran away as he took out our Nelson. But it's okay. 2 battleships versus one battleship. Well, I say that as we basically have 2 battleships, 1 cruiser versus 1 battleship, and that is the Massachusetts. I could, on potential, go to crack in this game. If by the looks of things, I don't even need to do a second game. This already looks pretty damn good. So as you can see, Massachusetts is like just below half of his health. As you can see, I'm out of his range. But farther away, he does have the range to hit me, whereas he doesn't have the 50 caliber guns of what is on the Iowa, and also Montana for that matter. So I'm not afraid of him hitting me. As you see, we've got pretty unfortunate defeats right there. As you can see, Massachusetts is not much for this world. By the time I get out there, basically it'll be just death. As our Duke of York is lighting this man up like a Christmas tree. See, the fire chances on the KGV, the Duke of York, as well as the Conqueror for that matter, are insane. Even the Nelson for that matter. As our Attigo gets his high caliber. As you see, I don't think Massachusetts is going to be alive for much longer. He's burning to the Duke of York's fire. And I don't think I'll be able to get in range to take a couple more shots at him. As our Duke of York fires another salvo off. But if our Duke of York's able to get his guns loaded, this will be game over. As the Massachusetts absolutely has gone awful dispersion, and down goes the Massachusetts. See, that was a very, very close game. Alright guys, if you like what you see, make sure you do hit the like button, even consider subscribing for that matter. You can change your mind after. For the people that do end up subscribing to my YouTube channel as well, they will get those godly good death strikes, and also have good RNG for the rest of your times on World of Warships Legends. This is Sid the Battleship Player. Catch us at you guys in the next video.